All right, Nvidia just reporting a beat on earnings, revenue, raising its dividend, and a stock split. And joining us now is Defiance ETFs CEO and CIO Sylvia Jablonski. Sylvia, it is great to have you. Listen, so you went into this print. Stock was up 90% already this year. The expectations were sky high, but they beat. Sylvia, at least initially here. Investors like what they see. Let's get your initial reaction. What do you make of the report, Sylvia?
Yeah, hi Josh. I mean, this is Goldilocks, right? I think that they beat on both numbers. They beat on profits. They beat on revenues. They're up 200% over the year. Seller performance. Look, I think AI is the biggest megatrend that we have, and it's going to impact every single industry out there. And these numbers tell us that that's playing out, right? All of these different industries are very likely, increasing the breadth of demand from just tech companies to just revolutionizing, how we do other things, whether healthcare, financial security, financial reporting, banks, risk trading, quantum computing, supercomputing, all of it. So Goldilocks number, Jensen Huang is the man of the year, I think, the bellwether of the market. And I think investors are happy about it. I mean, this move post-market is just great. And the thing that I'd be worried about, and Julie mentioned this a lot of times, the stock price moves around after earnings, and then, you don't know where it's going to land. But oftentimes that has to do with data center and outlook. And I mean, 22 versus 21, and then outlooks, beating two. So I think we're pretty good here. Plus the split is awesome, right? It lets investors that had FOMO get in at lower prices.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the split, Sylvia. How much do you think that, I mean, particularly for, I wonder, and maybe you have some insight into this, that feels like more of a move for retail investors, right, to get in on this. Is there any importance also for institutional investors?
So it's really interesting because just, my lifelong career in capital markets, the response is always that reverse splits and forward splits don't matter. You have the same thing at the end of the day in terms of the notional value. The amount of money you have is the same, right? It just kind of switches for more shares at a lower price. But I think, 100% it's geared towards retail investors, young investors, individuals can now get into this stock. It's really hard to buy a stock that's trading at these prices. And I think that, it's in the case of Nvidia, it is going to matter because I think it's going to open up, new demand, and it's a popularity trade. It's a popular stock. And I think it's going to matter for them. I do. And the cash dividend's nice too. That's going to matter for institutions.
Hey, no one sleeps on capital return. Sylvia, let me ask you this too. I'm just curious. What do you think this report means, Sylvia, for the broader market? What Nvidia reports, CEO Jensen Huang, Julie's going to be talking to him shortly, along with her own Dan Howley. What are some of the ripple effects you see for the market?
Yeah, I can't wait for that interview. Actually, I'm super excited. He's got to be feeling good about this report. That'll be a good one. But I think that this is going to drive the Nasdaq up tomorrow. I think in the near term we're going to get some continued momentum off of these Nvidia earnings. It's going to be good for the Mag 7, good for the breadth of the Nasdaq, and in general. A couple like in 2022 when all the tech stocks were crashing and Apple did well. That was kind of the tide that lifted all boats, right? And last year, and it's been Tesla throughout time, and this is just the year for Nvidia. Nvidia does well. People feel good about the market this year, and we'll see what happens next year. But this is that trade this year. So short term, we get some positive momentum off of this, I think.
It's funny because it was a trade last year too, Sylvia.
Yeah, I guess it was a trade last year too. But I think the hype, like it's like the day that they announced the Chat GPT thing in fall of last year is when this thing really started to go parabolic, I think.
Yeah, we got to leave it there, Sylvia. Thank you so much for that instant reaction. Really appreciate it.